Kory, break it down for us, the injuries today.
He went up in the air, really showed his athleticism, and when he came down, he just did not get back up.
Aiden Hutchinson moved inside. They said he was playing last year. Said he was doing some stuff.
And you really saw that today. He was just really physical and really aggressive throughout the entire practice. Aiden's athleticism going up against Panay's strength is like almost like a clash of the giants.
Let's bring him in. Kory Woods, he's been with us each and every day so far. We're going to keep him working with us. Kory, break it down for us, the injuries today. Quintez Cephas, everybody talking about that one, needed help off the field.
Damn.
Yeah, Quintez, he caught a nice pass over Jeff Okuda. It was a remarkable catch. He went up in the air, really showed his athleticism, and when he came down, he just did not get back up. He was just laid out for a quick second, and he had to be helped off the staff by the coaches. Well, he had to be helped off the field by the coaches. So it was a real unfortunate situation.
Any update on that? Any
No,
severity, anything like that?
Well,
Bless you.
Ooh.
Thank you. None of the coaches spoke after. None of the coaches spoke
My
after
bad.
after the practice. So what they pretty much we're going to find out probably more in the morning on what happened with them.
My apologies. I'm in goofy mode right now. Let me ask you a question about Lee McNeil. Talk about that. Obviously, he was one of the guys listed in the top 10 players that are going to break out this year. We just found out he went down as well. Any news on that?
He went down, but he was able to go ahead and finish our practice. So he said that he was good. So Aleem is fine. He just
Okay.
I guess he collided with some bodies and he went down, but he was able to go ahead and finish our practice.
It's so funny, like when I was on the space of the football side, like guys bump into each other all the time, little tweaks happen, all this stuff happens.
Yeah.
But now on this side, as I'm trying to learn how to cheer for the Lions, I'm like, what happened? What? He did what? He went down. What? So now I'm into it. But let me ask you a question. I heard that Aiden Hutchinson moved inside. They said he was playing last year. Said he was doing some stuff. Tell me about that inside move, because coming out, I always said that I looked at him more like J.J. Watt as opposed to T.J. Watt, because J.J. never leaves the field, and that's what I see for Aiden. What did you see with the inside move?
Well, the first couple of days he had some trouble. I mean, he got put on his butt by T.J. T.J. Hawkinson, and then, he had some problem with Sewell. But today he really got after it. You saw him really just play whistle to whistle. And Dan Campbell talked about that earlier today. Like that Aiden's a guy that he'll have a bad moment, but he's not going to keep on having those moments. He's going to learn from it and quickly recover. And you see it, and you really saw that today. He was just really physical and really aggressive throughout the entire practice. And then the thing that I really liked after practice is that he looked like he was working on trying to get off the ball quicker. So it looked like he's self-aware, knowing that, hey, I had a kind of rough go at it the first day, even a little bit today. I'm going to go ahead and put in some of the extra work after practice.
Kory, just piggybacking off that real quick, is that something that bothers you? Is that something that you yourself are worried about, considering you drafted Aiden Hutchinson number 2 overall? There are questions about, has he reached his ceiling, getting drafted, and now you see a move like this where he's struggling on the outside. Now they move him inside, and it's looking like he's working. Are you worried, or you just like, he's just a young guy figuring out in camp?
Just a young guy figured out. I'm not worried at all because he's looked better than he's looked worse. So like I said, he's had some moments, but I think it's just some growing pains. I think that he's going to go ahead and figure it out, because when he's looked good, he's looked damn good.
Okay.
Talking to Kory Woods. You can follow him on Twitter at Kory E. Woods. Kory with a K, of course, our Lions beat reporter, Woodward Sports Network. Kory, one of the things I wanted to talk to you about was this competition. You talk about Aiden Hutchinson and Penei Sewell. We've seen some videos of them going back and forth. Amongst everything that you see at training camp, how active is that one-on-one battle?
Looks nice. I mean, it's kind of weird to look at it. I don't want to say weird, but it's like Aiden's athleticism going up against Penei's strength. It's like almost like a clash of the giants. And so far, got to go ahead and give the edge to. I don't want to say you can give the edge to Sewell, because even though just last week, Aiden was able to get by him a couple of times. I mean, even again, it was no pads, but I mean, we're really starting to see the genesis of it right now. I want to see how it continues to grow throughout the rest of the week, but it's just like a clash of the Titans almost.
So what, outside of that, what has been something good? What is something, I don't want to say secretive, but what's something unsung? What's something you noticed that the people out there, give them a little inside take to Allen Parker, something that you've seen where you're like, oh man, this might be something to keep an eye on, whether it's good or bad?
Jared Goff, just his consistency, just the way that he's looked in practices, the way he's been throwing the ball, it's just night and day different than this time last year. That's what I'm comparing it to. It just looks like he has a real command of the offense that him and Ben Johnson are working on. So that is the real big takeaway. Everything else, I'm not going to front today's practice. It was okay. It was, I think they're, trying to really ramp it up a little bit more. A couple of things did look like a little sloppy, nothing too terrible, but I'm curious to see how they keep on, progressing moving forward. But just to me, the real person that has been eye popping is Jared Goff, at least on the offensive side of the ball.
Gotcha.
You see DJ Chark's speed is there as well. And you want to go to the defensive side of the ball, a guy that has I guess he's sticking out, and maybe not for the greatest reasons. I would say it would be Jeff Okuda. You see, he's looking healthier. He doesn't look like the injuries hurting him as far as practicing, but it looks like he's still trying to go ahead and get that speed back up, because even today I saw Josh Reynolds get rid of him a couple of times.
Hey, Kory, I wanted to ask you, I watch that press conference every morning. Dan Campbell every morning meets with the media. I watch it, and I think it's the third day in a row he has referenced Malcolm Rodriguez as really a guy that he is so happy with. Put the pads on, and he called some of these guys pajama warriors, that they're so good when the pajamas are on, but when you put the pads on, that's where you find the real men. And he just continues to elevate Malcolm Rodriguez. Well, what do you see out of him?
Just pure intensity, playing snap to snap all over the field, and just looks like he has a real sense of what the coaches are asking out of him. He's really just getting after it every time that the whistle is just blown. And the one thing that I will say about Malcolm Rodriguez is that he looks in damn good shape, and he looks just like one hell of an athlete, something that they do need, because I would say the linebacker position is like one of their glaring weak spots. It has been for a couple of years. So right now they're looking at him as a guy that can possibly, who knows, maybe he could play his way into starter or significant playing time. It's hard to say, but he's going out there and he's giving everything that he got, and the coaches are loving him. Dan was talking about his physique back during OTAs and mini camps. They were talking about him again the other day, him and Aaron Glenn as guys they were looking and can't wait to see getting pads. Now you're hearing about him once again. So he's just going out there and making the most of every time he's in there. You see him taking snaps with the first team. So he's just a guy that's taking a season a moment.
I know how it is, Kory, in terms of trying to get that chemistry. Guys are out because of injury. Guys are nursing themselves back, be it PUP, be it just getting back in there. So I'll wait till next week to ask you more about the progression of the Lions. Like, do they look like they could be a team that wins that over, which is 6.5? So I'll wait on that. But I want to ask about one more player, Jamal Williams. Like, this guy he's a breath of fresh air. Like, he is just like funny as hell. I saw the Macho Man imitation yesterday. I know you and I are big wrestling guys, so that was great. Like, how does he look going into camp? Obviously knowing that DeAndre is the guy, but he's a guy that's right there too. How does he look so far?
Jamal Williams looks great. It's actually interesting that you asked me about Jamal Williams. I have a story going up to Woodward Sports. It'll be up either sometime later today. I got to finish transcribing it, but last night I talked to Coach Luke Neal. Luke Neal is Jamal Williams' uncle and his trainer, because I don't know if you guys see me on Twitter. I said that Jamal Williams looks noticeably smaller, and when I was talking to Coach Neal, he was saying that Jamal has been playing before at the around 224 to 228, and over the summer they trimmed him down, so he's going to be going into the season 217. And I asked him, how does that affect his power? And he said, I believe that he's going to be even more powerful, even more explosive, because we took away some of those top heavy muscles and got him more muscular everywhere. So I was saying I thought he looked noticeably leaner, because he wasn't a big guy last year, a fat guy, but I thought he looked leaner, and that's what Coach Neal said. They worked on getting his quickness and agility out there, because when he was a rookie, he won I believe he won the Packers rookie MVP, and he had like 153 carries for like close to 600 yards, which is almost identical to what he had last season with the Lions. So he's looked good out there. I thought that he looked quicker, and Coach Neal validated that's why he looked quicker. They've been working on his physical training, And I got a couple other nuggets that he said about last night. I don't want to give you everything.
I appreciate it.
Kory, I wanted to ask you, final thing from me. Whether it's Will Harris, Jeff Okudah, corner, whether it's wide receiver, whether it's defensive line, there seems to be linebacker, there seems to be competition at a lot of these different roster spots. Legitimate competition, not to the point where it's up for grabs. This roster seems to be as talented as it's been in quite some time. Can you just talk about that aspect of it, the competitive nature, guys fighting for their NFL lives? Excuse me. That's the thing. They're not fighting for their NFL lives. They're fighting to play for the Lions. Because a lot of these guys that get cut, they're not going to be out of the league. They're going to latch on somewhere else. Whereas in years past, if you don't make the Lions, you're done.
You can really just sense right now at Allen Park that it is a competition. All of those guys are really bought into not just Dan Campbell. They're bought into Ben Johnson. They're bought into Antoine Randall, Deuce Staley, Aubrey Pleasant, Aaron Glenn, Haley. They're bought into the entire concept of what this team is trying to be. So what I mean by that is because they're bought in, they're all trying to play for the Lions, just like you said. They're all trying to go ahead and get after that spot. So you sense guys like they're all cool. The camaraderie is there. They're all trying to make, iron sharpens iron, make sure that each guy is doing well, but they're also trying to get after it. One battle that I believe is going to be really interesting is on that D line. I'm just curious to see how that turns out. And I'm also curious to see about that cornerback 2 slot, because it's already been said that Will Harris and Jeff Okudah are going to be competing to play opposite of Amani. So those are two things that I'm looking at. And if I had to say right now that somebody that might have the edge on that, it could be Will Harris. Granted, he had some issues last year at safety, but right now at the cornerback slot, something that is a little bit new for him. He's holding his own. So the competition is there. Everybody has a chance to really get after it. I believe, obviously, we know the only person that is not competing for his job is Jared Goff. So
sounds good. Kory Woods, follow him on Twitter at Kory E. Woods. Also our Woodward Sports handle. Kory's out there practice every day. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Kory, thanks so much, my friend.
Yeah.
Hey, Kory, man, get you some leave for those allergies, buddy.
That's Allegra.